Hello and welcome back to another video on the rest of the and to another edition of NXT Out of 10. And it's a big episode today as we got great episode of NXT, I think it's fair to say, with Seth Rollins accepting Braun Breaker's title challenge, and WWE also announced a special 2-week event called NXT Gold Rush that will host a large number of title matches. So yeah, something to look forward to over the next few weeks. But starts things off with a 6-man tag, Tyler Bate, Wesley and Mustafa Ali versus the Schism. Lee, Ali and Bate were in control early and sent the Schism outside before hitting triple dives on them. Back on NXT after a break, Ali got a neck breaker before trying for the 450 splash but missed. Lee then took a triple team powerbomb from the Schism before a second ref came in to stop the original count. Ali and Lee wiped out Reed and Fowler while Bate hit the Tyler Driver 97 on Gacy for the win. And yeah, this gets 7 out of 10 from me. Yeah, I mean, a really good match kick off the show. I think Babyface is getting the win. Definitely the right decision. I really like what they're doing at the moment. And yeah, kind of feel like it could lead somewhere. Just not entirely sure where. But yeah, this is all good stuff. I'm really enjoying this stuff at the moment. 7 out of 10. Duke Hudson was then struggling to manage Chase U and called MJ Chase, but it went to voicemail. Duke left a message saying he's worried there was no news about Chase's recovery. Yeah, still setting up for that breakup, and I can't wait to see when it happens because yeah, it's definitely coming. Braun Breaker was out next and called out the held heavyweight champion Seth Rollins once more. Ilya Dragunov came out but was dragged away by officials before he could get close to the ring. Seth then showed up on the Titan and said Braun can't just say his name and make him appear. That said, Rollins still wanted to return to his former brand and accepted the challenge for next week. Can't believe we're getting it. It's just a perfect mood. Really boosts up NXT, makes the World Heavyweight title feel great, defending it all everywhere, does Rollins well look good, and yeah, I just can't wait for next week. Definitely going to feel very special. Dana Brooke went backstage talking about her future in NXT before Cora Jade came and slapped her in the face, costing her the Battle Royal win and walked away. So yeah, interesting feud that for Dana Brooke down in NXT. And one that you potentially could get Cora over before it's time for Mustafa, who offered the guest referee in a title rematch between Wesley and Bate, and maybe we could see a turn there, who knows, but yeah, maybe. Because then time for Cora Jade, she was in action against Thea Hale. Jade was in control early and sent Hale into the corner before Brooke showed up to spectate the match. Hale came back with some strikes and a crossbody, but Jade wiped her out on the ropes before attacking Brooke at ringside. Jade then tried to get a cheek shot on Hale with her kendo stick, but the ref caught her and took it away. Dana used distraction to push Jade in steel sets, letting Hale get the win with the Kimura lock. And yeah, it gets 6 out of 10 from me. Yeah, Jade getting the win, I think obviously the right decision. Thea Hale, it still fits into her character to have losses as well. And just kicking off the Jade Brooke feud, not against it to be honest, so 6 out of 10. We then learned that there was a special 2-week event called NXT Gold Rush, and before Noah Dar and his friends were out next, and Dar was using crutches. He claimed that Fraser attacked him backstage, and now that he was injured, Ori Monster would be facing Fraser to defend the Heritage Cup, and Fraser got an easy pin in round 1 with a roll up, which saw round 2 in the corner, and there was some big moves. Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend came in with an interference, letting Mensa get the first pin in the match. The two traded some roll ups in round 3, leading to Fraser getting near 4 at the end. Mensa then got some big moves as round 4 kicked off, but failed to get another pin before Jackson and Legend tried to interfere once again, but Ferros and Leon came in and wiped them out. Fraser hit his springboard Phoenix Slash and got the win with 28 seconds left on the clock. And yeah, it gets a 7 out of 10 from me. I really like how they did this. No Andar kind of chickening out, and then it's obviously going to lead to issues with Mensa as well down the line. It's creating different storylines, and yeah, this is a move that Fraser's for a long time. So yeah, on the whole, very happy with this. 7 out of 10. Von Wagner was then backstage, and his therapy session seems to be working since he admitted to trusting Mr. Stone, which is surprising. Delbert Kato then took on Scripps and Axiom on NXT. Scripps and Axiom came in with tandem drop kicks right off the bat before Kato took control and tossed him around. Axiom then reversed chokeslam before the duo sent Kato outside and hit a series of dives and followed by a moonsault. Back in the ring, Scripps got another moonsault before Axiom got a kick to the head and picked up the win. Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo, as the Lost Stars, were previously on the main roster, and they attacked Scripps and Axiom after the match and took them out. And yeah, definitely not against that at all. Kind of what they need to revitalise the career. I did think Dabba Case would get the win here. I really put him over as a one-man wrecking crew, but maybe not. But yeah, definitely excited by the introduction of Lost Stars. Before backstage, Sax was trying to solve the case of who from Tony D. Well, Duke Hudson wanted to host a pet rally next week for Thea Hale to hype up a women's title match for it's time for Blade v and OP. Tank and Hank showed up to cheer them on as the two traded takedowns in the ring. Idris blocked a powerbomb to the outside before Blade dodged a ringside dive and hit one of his own. Briggs and Jensen then showed up as well before they got it back in the ring, and Blade got a sudden roll up and picked up the win. And yeah, gets 6 out of 10. Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't really feel too much into this match. I think they're best together, to be honest. And yeah, Booker T got on the mic and said that the three teams were in the arena tonight and will be facing each other in the #1 contenders match for the tag team titles. The brawl broke out as in the ring as Los Cesario watched and laughed from the balcony. And like I say, probably gets a 5 out of 10 for me. I think they're just better as a team. Match didn't really click for me. So yeah, 5 out of 10. Damon Kemp was yelling at referees backstage when a bad call last week with Eddie Thorpe offered him a rematch under whatever stipulation he wants before it's time for Roxanne Perez v Tatum Paxley. Perez got some big moves early but took a double underhook suplex before we got a near fall from Paxley. Perez came back with a springboard takedown before Paxley rolled out and Roxanne hit a big dive. Perez got an easy roll up pin before Perez got on the mic and called out Blair Davenport. She vowed to get revenge for herself and the rest of the women's locker room. And Jack gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Solid enough. Roxanne picking up the win is the right decision, I think. And yeah, the match kind of just build her up, you suppose. Potentially ahead of a women's title feud, which I wouldn't be against. Before backstage, Gigi and Fallon were bonding over how much they hate Kiana James. First, before it's time for Baron Corbin v Ilya Dragunov. Corbin started strong, but Dragunov dragged him into the corner and hit some big shots. Corbin got some chops and kicks before Dragunov got a series of Germans. Back after a break, Corbin dumped Ilya on the outside before going for strikes to his injured wrist. Before on the announcer's desk, before Corbin got a backbreaker in the ring, before getting a deep 6 for a near fall. Dragunov then came back with a dive and a DDT before hitting a vertical suplex. And then he came in to interfere. That's Bron Breaker and a torpedo Maseko before Corbin got the end of the day for the win. Bron attacked Ilya after the match while Carmelo and came in and took Corbin out with nothing but net as NXT went off the air. So yeah, seeing out 2 different feuds. Dragunov has a way out with Lost and with the Breaker feud. So yeah, I think it all kind of intertwined and worked quite nicely. It was a really good match up until that point as well. So 7 out of 10. And overall this week, NXT gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Yeah, I'd say it was a pretty solid episode of NXT this week. Seth v Bron next week is going to be great. Really enjoying the main event. And yeah, just throughout the card, it was pretty solid action, I would say. So yeah, like I say, a pretty enjoyable episode of NXT this week. And yeah, can't wait for next week, I have to say. But anyway, guys, that's it really. Thanks very much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, like, thoughts, comments on this daily wrestling news and subscribe to my channel. It would be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.